guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Kay, and if you're new here on this channel, I do cooking videos, shopping vlogs, shopping finds, DIYs, travel vlogs, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a little sit down where I'm going to be sharing my experience on what it's like living in Canada. So I am Jamaican, you probably guessed by now, and I moved to Canada over 10 years now, so I have quite some experience that I can share with you guys, and maybe what I share today in this video will guide you somewhat or provide you with option, or it will probably gauge you if you're thinking of coming into Canada. So if you want to hear about my experience, just keep on watching. I'm going to break down my experiences into the four main categories, and that's the four major categories that someone might look into when they are trying to migrate or they're migrating to a different country. So to start off, I'm just gonna talk about the obvious, the weather, right? So I know that the weather can be a deterrent factor when you want to migrate to another country, and Canada experiences 4 seasons. For me, when I moved to Canada, it was basically the onset of fall, and fall tends to be cooler. You will still have sunny days, but it transitions into that cooler time, right? You can still wear your shorts, your sleeveless, but when it gets closer to the afternoons or even any time of the day, it can be a little bit cooler, and some people tend to start layering in the sense that they have on a blouse pretty much like this, and they might have on a lighter sweater, a light cardigan, and that kind of stuff. So to move on the weather category is transitioning from the fall into the winter. And I know that is one area of concern that people might have when they want to move to Canada or to any country that experiences winter, snow. So for me, coming into Canada and having snow, it wasn't my first time seeing the snow, because I used to migrate back and not migrate, sorry, I used to travel back and forth. So I had already experienced the snow and how cold it could get. I should put out there that some provinces have milder winter conditions than some provinces, right? So where I live, the winter conditions are a little bit extreme, but I realize that sometimes it gets mild to the point you're wondering if we're having winter. The only thing that I see with the winter conditions is that it tends to start early and it ends later than normal, right? So for me, all I had to do was, just ensure that you're coming, or I came with a couple winter gears and that kind of stuff. And as I said, I came in fall, so so I was able to, I had enough time to prepare myself in order to get proper winter gear. So it wasn't bad. Driving in winter can be another thing. You will probably be a little bit cautious. You probably won't want to do it, but you will have to learn how to drive, or not even learn, but if you already are a driver, you will have to take your time when driving in winter, in winter conditions, on a snowy road, right? To move on from there, my next category is, let's talk about cost of living, and cost of living also ties in with the third category that I will discuss. So I'm gonna break down cost of living into food, and I'm gonna break down it into affordability of owning a home and rent, and yeah. So let's talk about food. I realized that food can be expensive just about anywhere. It can be cheaper depending on the province that you're in. My experience where I live, that the food is a little bit more expensive. So if I hadn't said it before, I live in the province of Alberta, and the food here tends to be a little bit more expensive than food in, say, for instance, a city in Ontario, if you know. So, and that might be because of transportation, getting the food from point A to point B, whereas you're gonna get the food from point A, bring it to point B, and then transport it back to point C. Maybe that kind of stuff. Anyways, when it comes to your Caribbean foods, because that's what most people probably would want to know, or a different country food, you will find that you have Caribbean, West Indian stores that will sell West Indian produce, West Indian products, but it comes at an extra cost, in the sense that it will be a little bit more expensive if you convert it to your currency back home, but that's expected. When I just got here, it was a little bit difficult for me, in the sense that I didn't know anywhere at the time, so finding all places that sell stuff was a little bit slower, and that kind of stuff. In terms of rent is moderate compared to other provinces. Owning a home is moderate compared to other places. I know you can get maybe a 2-bedroom home for between, maybe, oh, don't quote me, maybe 1,200 to maybe 1,500, and it depends on the area that you're in. My experience before I moved on to owning a home, the 2-bedroom that we were renting at the time was 1,100, and it was spacious, it was big, everything comfortable, had a garage and a garage pad and that kind of stuff. Again, it all boils down to where you're going to live. So I found it very affordable, moderate in the sense. So I'm just gonna jump now to my third category, and as I said, it kind of ties in with cost of living. So jobs are, at the time when I got here, it took me quite a little bit before I ventured out to look at a job. And I got a job saw this, we call it job fair that was going to happen, and I attended the job fair, and about a week after I was called in for the job, right? So it can be easy like that. Some people, it takes them longer to get a job. The job was an entry-level position, and within maybe less than 6 months, I moved up into a managerial position within the same company, and I worked my way up. So I would say that it can happen quickly. It can take some time, because yes, the Canadian employers want to see Canadian work experience and that kind of stuff. But just, I'm not gonna say to work beneath what level that you're used to, but I would say that just think about it, in the sense that you know that you're gonna probably having to start from the beginning. You're gonna have to start over. All right, guys, so my last category is entertainment, and my experience with this is moderate like the others. I know that the province that I live in, you will find that your country has their association. So the Canada Jamaica Association, the Canadian Antiguan Association, and that kind of stuff. So if it's something that you're interested in, you can get involved in stuff like that, because I know that throughout the year they'll have different little events, especially in the summer, that you can partake in. You can go out and enjoy yourself. If where you're living. For me, I love going out of town, out of province. Yes, I'll engage in activities that are within where I am, but it's also nice to do a little trip if you're, if you like driving, because the transportation, the airfare tends to be, you know how airfares are, they are higher and that kind of stuff. So I mean, if you want to, you can always drive from one city to another, or from one province from another. It might take you a couple of hours, but there's always the added bonus of sightseeing along the way, so you can break up your drive. For churches, religion, you have lots of churches. You have the denominational ones, you have the non-denominational ones. It's always good to research and the church that you go to, find out if there are similar ones in the area that you're moving into. When I just got here, I went to a non-denominational church, and eventually, after a couple of years, I started to interact with other people, and I realized that there was a church similar to the one that I was used to back home. So from then, I've been going to that church, and it's filled with, the congregation is of people from back home, from Jamaica. So it was refreshing and welcoming in that sense. So, and it's a smaller, because you'll find churches that are very, very big and not intimate. The one that I'm going to now is very intimate and that kind of stuff. So that's my experience, guys, with moving to Canada. I hope I was able to provide somebody with an insight as to what any of these categories that I talked about can be like. So if you're going to be making a decision soon, you were able to make a decision based off watching my video. So I'm just going to end the video right here and just ask you that if you learned anything so far and you like my content, just to go ahead to like, share, and subscribe, and to share the video, and to turn on your post notifications so you will be aware of when I upload a video, and stay tuned for more amazing content. Bye bye.